folks. I'm Johnny Gabriel, and I love to cook. I also love to bake. I have a bake shop here in Marietta and a restaurant. We're here at Gabriel's this afternoon, and I have a special friend with me, Jody Roden. I got to know Jody a couple of years ago. She also has a cake shop, and she's a cake lady in Asheville, North Carolina.
That's right.
And her bakery is called Short Street Cakes, right?
That's right, yes.
Well, she's written a beautiful book about cake ladies, so of course I'm partial to it. I am in it, as Mary Moon is in it, the lady who gave me my original recipes. So this afternoon, we're going to decorate some cupcakes for you.
That's right.
Jody bakes lots of cakes and wedding cakes and so forth in Asheville. So she's going to be an expert at helping me decorate these cupcakes. And we're going to talk about her book, Cake Ladies, Celebrating a Southern Tradition. So I hope you're going to enjoy being with us today. Jody, speaking of bakeries, your Short Street Bakery, you do a lot of seasonal stuff, I know, don't you?
Definitely.
I read your blog. What's the name of your
great.
blog? Now, you're not going to want to miss her blog. I can occasionally catch it, and she's got all kinds of information on it.
It's called My Life in Cake, and it's actually just on the Short Street Cakes website now, so it's shortstreetcakes.com. And yeah, we do a lot. Western North Carolina, we're blessed to have a lot of local farms and a really strong local food movement. So I really enjoy doing the seasonal stuff, the sweet potato cakes when the sweet potatoes are in season, whatever we can get locally, especially in the summer with the berries and all that kind of stuff. So we definitely we have a seasonal theme at my shop. For sure.
You do a lot of course, everything you do is fresh. You do some vegan things.
Absolutely. We do a lot of vegan baking. We do everything 100% from scratch and 100% natural. So our design work is a little bit different. We can get some colors. They're not quite as vivid as these, but we do everything all natural. So we'll create colors with things like beet powder or turmeric, or even spirulina to get a nice green. Blue is the one thing we can't really get a true blue, but otherwise we do some decorations, but we do everything all natural.
All natural.
Yeah.
Well, we have the old-fashioned stuff here
Exactly.
today. So we've got the bright greens and the
bright
red
colors.
We do. We did some cakes earlier today, some little cupcakes, and the sparkles are a lot of fun.
Beautiful.
To do. So should we do some cupcakes?
Absolutely.
All right. This is our red velvet cake. Of course, it's one of our most seasonal items, and I say seasonal. It's not really, because we sell hundreds of red velvet cupcakes a week here and red velvet cakes. So for us, red velvet really isn't seasonal. The red velvet recipe is in my cookbook, Cooking in the South, and I think you have one in here too, don't you?
We have a version of it that is vegan from a couple of ladies named the Cupcake Fairies in New Orleans. So that was a
Fairies.
fun.
I love that name. That's great.
And they are a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we'll just start off and we'll just decorate a couple of cupcakes here.
And I'm going to let you teach me, because I think you're a little more accomplished in the decorating area than I am. But I can do the white part.
Yeah, you want to, with what we've got here, we just want a kind of a smooth top on these. And I've got just a pastry bag, a plastic pastry bag. You can buy them at most any craft store, and a little connector here. And you don't want to put a tip on this bag. You want to just leave it wide open with that big, kind of a really big round hole here. And I just start on the outside. The other tip for holding a decorating bag, and that my decorators show me this, they remind me, if you put a rubber band on the end of your bag, you're not going to squirt icing out all over yourself. And you want to grip your bag right here close down to the bottom.
Oh, even if it's full above?
Yeah, even if it's full. See, this rubber band is going to keep it from popping out all over you.
You learn something new every day?
Absolutely. We have wonderful decorators here at Gabriel's. And they also teach me not to flop the icing around either like that. But you've got this big fat hole. You want to twist your bag here. And when you twist that bag, you let that torque on the icing help you push the icing out. So start on the outside.
I'm going to watch you.
And just do a round circle. Now, I don't do it as well as our decorators do it. They are super. Because what we're trying to achieve today, just go all the way around and fill that center.
I promise I do ice cupcakes.
Oh, you ice cupcakes? You ice wedding cakes too, don't you?
We do a lot of cakes. So yeah, just fill it out.
It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. And then we're just going to slightly smooth it like this. These little tiny spatulas are great. You'll want to have them in your kitchen as well as the big spatula. So the girls today showed me that I didn't need to do very much work. I just kind of twist the cupcake like this and make one little swoop across that, and then see that cupcake is smooth enough.
Perfect, yeah.
Now yours looks like a wedding cake. You're really working hard, but you're used to that. So, but you just really need to smooth it out, maybe with one little round stroke like that, and then kind of come across the top.
You want me to prep the rest of these while you?
Well, let's decorate one.
One at a time?
Yeah, which one would you like to do? You want to
Let's
do
make the snowflake.
the snowflake?
Yes.
That was really a pretty one. Okay.
Oh wait, now there's only
We only
one
have
of the
one blue bag. So this is so simple, y'all. You're going to be able to do this with your grandchildren. They're going to love it. Now granted, a grandchild's cupcake may not look just like this one that we've done, but they'll have a great time doing it. And you can get this little sparkle dust or fairy dust. You can get that at the craft stores also. This is so simple. So you're just going to pull a straight line. Even pressure is better here, even pressure. And just pull up. You're going to make a cross right here. And then you're going to add another line, just dissecting that cross. Kids just love to get their hands on these bags full of icing. And you have Jasper.
I do. I have a 6-year-old. So
is he 6 already?
6, and he's like this tall.
Oh my gosh! Does he ever get in the kitchen with you?
Absolutely. Yeah, we love to bake together. And in fact, when I was just in New Orleans on my book tour, I bought him a little Creole cooking cookbook for children, and he wants to make something out of it every day.
Oh well, he can help you with Thanksgiving dinner.
Exactly.
Or something. Okay, we're going to put another little dissecting line right through here. So the children will love this. Now this is really, really simple. We'll dot that later. You're just going to see some little, what are those, little triangles there?
Yeah.
And this is pretty little colors for this just to look like a snowflake.
So it looks complicated, but really it's just a bunch of V shapes over a cross.
Yes, it's so easy to do. It does look complicated. And then you're going to do some more V's out here on the end like this.
That's great.
We won't do this whole thing, but you get the idea. Let's do, and then you're going to put a little dot here on the end, but just little V's is all you're really doing. So it's simple, straight lines with simple colors. You know, you get all your food coloring, you mix up, what do we have out here? Maybe 5 or 6 colors. Just all your Christmas colors, your greens, your reds. Let's do the Christmas tree.
Okay, why don't you let me finish this one up while you do the Christmas tree?
All righty.
Because I want some practice.
All right, you can do
Here,
that.
you do that.
I'll do the tree.
Okay.
Y'all, this is the most simple Christmas tree, and it's just such an effective design. This is a leaf tip on here, so I can't really use that. This leaf tip is going to give me a true leaf effect. Like this. Leaf, see that leaf tip is going to give you that leaf. Isn't that a great?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Great invention. I don't know who did these tips, who thought of them.
I do those with the little roses.
Yes, of course. So we're going to do this tree right here. And this is so simple. You just start out with some lines and you just zigzag back and forth across your cupcake. See how easy? Kids will think they have just been great artists. My grandchildren love to do crafts. I bet Jasper does too, doesn't he?
He does, absolutely.
So see how simple this is, and I am not even really a skilled decorator. The skilled decorators work back here all the time and they turn out beautiful stuff. That's not me. I just learned from them. And then if you've got all your bright colors, see, now we really mix this yellow very, very bright. Don't forget to twist your bag when you start working. We've got a tiny little tip here on the end. If you go to the craft stores, they can tell you, you can look at the tips and they'll have numbers on them. But you'll be able to tell what you need. You've got smoothing out one over there. And then
I'm just
these
getting busy over here.
little colors are your different Christmas lights. You're going to have a Christmas tree on a cupcake here before we know it. And this is our red velvet cupcake. You can decorate anything, any kind of cupcake. And what I have found is most home recipes for like 3 cups of flour, 4 or 5 eggs, and so forth, most of those that make 3-layer cakes, they'll give you 24 cupcakes this size.
Exactly.
Is that
that's
with your
exactly.
recipes also?
I have that in the book too as a little side note.
That's a good tip.
It's almost always 24 or closer to 50 minis.
Oh, okay. That's
even
good.
more than that. Could even potentially be like 60 of those little mini cupcakes.
And you know, we sell so many mini cupcakes here. When I say so many, they're about this big. They're good, maybe 1 bite for some big, tall person, and maybe 2 bites for a dainty little lady.
Exactly.
So it's perfect for a little buffet, or when you're entertaining and you know people are not going to eat a big, big piece of cake. I bet.
And I brought 200 minis today for tonight.
Yes. Y'all, Jody's going to sign her book tonight. We're expecting, what, 200 or 300 people?
I hope so, yeah.
I know. And
Very
it's going to be
exciting.
so much fun. I
And
wish
it's-
you all could be here. So these make great Christmas presents. I can
Yes.
tell you from introducing my
Yeah.
books in the past.
Thank you.
Around the Christmas season, holiday season, they're great for birthdays. People just,
Absolutely.
there are people who just love to read cookbooks. I'm going to finish this cupcake. I really am. Okay, so we'll put some little blue dots here.
Beautiful.
See? Now you've got your little Christmas lights. And I'll finish it off with a star.
Very nice.
And this does not have to be perfect if you decide to do these at home. They just simply don't have to be perfect. I do suggest you make sure you have on your glasses, which I do not.
Oh,
So
I
does
do.
this look okay?
It looks
Because I
beautiful.
don't have my glasses on.
It looks
There you
beautiful.
Go. See how simple that was? We've mixed up maybe 6 colors. Well, let's do a Christmas tree. Here, we'll put this one out here.
I'm
The
feeling
wreath.
brave, and I feel like I could do the wreath.
Okay, I know you can.
Okay.
All you need is this simple leaf tip
Okay.
and that bright green color. Now, can you get a bright green with your organics?
I can, yeah. Well, it's not quite the same like Kelly green, but it's definitely a vivid
All right, now
green.
practice one down here so
Okay.
you make sure you got your, okay, you want to turn it to the side.
Like this?
Yes, and then jerk it and give it a good swift pull.
Like that?
Yes. And you're going to make 2
And we're just
little
going to
rows.
go all around, starting
You're
on the
gonna
outside.
Yes, start on the outside. Oh, perfect. Those are perfect leaves. Now, can you talk to me about your book while you do this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, what made you become a cake lady?
Well, like many of the cake ladies in my books, I guess I should explain what the book is.
Yes,
the
do
book
that.
is it is a cake recipe book.
Great recipes. Great
But
recipes.
it is also, and it's all Southern cakes. But it's also the stories of the ladies who bake them and whose recipes who shared their recipes with me. Now my twist is off. See, I'm accustomed to doing it all the way from the top.
Well,
so that's
do it
what
the
I'm
way
gonna-
you do it.
Yes.
Do it. That's the way you're going to be most comfortable.
Exactly. So I was lucky enough to be able to tour around the South last summer and interview, and I interviewed 17 women, one of whom was Johnny, and have over 21 recipes. So in addition to being a recipe book, we really have a lot of stories, life stories of cake ladies. So to answer your question, how did I become a cake lady? Soon after my son was born, and he's 6, and so this was 6 years ago, I was at home and trying to make a little bit of extra money on the side while I stayed home with my son, and also was just having a lot of fun baking for my friends, and ended up getting a few gigs doing wedding cakes, and then just got more and more and more interest, and really just, it kind of ran away with me. It was a whirlwind first few years. So after 3 years of baking out of my house, I rented the space where I now have my shop, Short Street Cakes.
And I have been to Short Street Cakes, and it is precious, y'all. It is
fun.
Jody personified. She has so much of her personality in it. It's just a precious shop.
We have a
Now-
lot of vintage tables and vintage, I collect little cake tins and cake stands and
And you know, you'll see
aprons.
those in any old shops you go into where they've got all the vintage things, and that's a great thing to collect and
I
fun,
think this
especially
is-
if you like baking.
This is a little bit of a wild wreath. This is a little more like what maybe your grandchild's one would look
that's
like.
okay. It's fine.
We'll
It's fine.
maybe
Then
we'll
get
do the bow up
gist.
at the top.
Yeah, you get the gist of how to do it. You're just going to put some. Why don't you put some little berries?
Berries.
Y'all, the berries are
But
so
I
easy
feel
to
like
do
I could
and do
just
the
take
touch.
this one off.
Well, you could.
And that'd be
Don't be
better.
afraid in the kitchen. You know, you can. This is a tiny little piece of cake. You can wipe it all off with a spatula and
It's true.
start over if you don't like
Absolutely.
it. So don't be afraid. Here, you can do
You
your
want me to do the
berries.
berries?
And I just
Okay.
had a good idea for gifts for your family, because I think, Jody, you wrote your first cookbook really as a gift to your brother, didn't you?
That's exactly right.
Yes, yes. It was
Years
a wedding
ago,
present?
I did, and I collected recipes from my family and put it together, and actually had it hand letter pressed, and I got to
Ooh.
help the printer do the hand letter pressing, and bound it together, and it was a gift to my brother, and then I got some copies made for the rest of my family. So we do have a little family heirloom cookbook, and it never was published, but it's our, that was truly my first
It'll
book.
be handed down.
Exactly.
Always. Well, I think that's a great gift for families, whether it's a wedding gift or a Christmas gift or just a gift to say I love you. And you mentioned love in your book quite a bit, and you
Very
talked
much.
about that cake ladies bake because they love to bake. I think they love to get involved in the community. That's one of my greatest blessings, is I know so many people in this community. Oh, she's going to attempt the bow here, which is really quite easy when you get around, when you think about it. Here, let's get this out of the way.
we
It's
go.
messing up the looks of your pretty wreath. Good job, y'all. Folks,
There it
you can do
is.
this. You can do this. The snowman is here. It's just a combination of little dots.
I'll get yours ready.
And the tree is easy, the snowflake is easy, and the wreath is easy. So,
But I think what you're saying is true about, and that was definitely an emphasis in the book, was on the concept that really baking a cake for a loved one, or even baking a cake to sell or creating a business, selling cakes is really a labor of love. Whether it's you're making a cake as a gift for a friend or a family member or your child's birthday or whatever, or whether you are creating a livelihood for your family to feed your children and have something to pass along, whatever it is, it really does come from a place of love.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I remember from reading some of most of the stories, most of the ladies in the book really wanted to supplement their income, right?
Absolutely.
That's how I started. And I can tell you folks, if you have a need in your life, you find something you love to do, and if you love it and other people love it, I can guarantee you can help with family finances. If you get creative, you'll find a way to do it.
Absolutely.
There are just stories. There was success story after success story in the book.
And I think that's something and that's why the emphasis for me was on Southern women as well, because I
Yes.
think there's a particular sort of industriousness and sort of survival instinct among Southern women that is, unique to us. And I know
Right.
other ladies in other parts of the world and other parts of the country have other things that are unique and other forms of strength, but I think this is something particular, especially when it comes to food and cooking.
Oh, food. Food very important in the
Yes,
South. Food.
exactly.
Food is important the world over. It doesn't matter where you go.
Absolutely.
I just went to France.
How
and
was that?
Oh, I ate my way through Paris.
So fun.
And through Provence. I was just so blessed to get to go. It was so
That's
much fun.
awesome.
So food is important everywhere.
Yes.
And we, in the South, I noticed that we always use pecans.
Yes.
Because they're prevalent here in Georgia. And so we use our natural resources.
Exactly.
I think that's just going on for eons of time.
Exactly.
Actually.
And I think people are realizing that more and more too now with the local food movements as well, about what's really available in your region at different seasons.
Well, it's certainly part of cooking economically. If you
Right.
use what's in season,
Yes.
you use what's prevalent in your area,
Yes.
then you can get better buys,
Yep.
no matter whether it's a vegetable or whether it's pecans to go in your Italian cream cake.
Right, and it's easier to grow it too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, not that much transportation cost.
Right.
So, anyway, here are cupcakes. What do we want to do next? Let's see.
I want to try that candle.
Okay.
Can I follow you and do we do one,
Well, yes.
or do we only have enough for the?
Well, let's do the candle. I don't know how adept I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be at doing the candle either. I believe I can.
I believe in
I
you.
think I can. I think I can. The little train that could. Okay, yeah, I think we're just going to make some little wiggly lines again. Here's the basis of your candle. We've got 2 candles going there. This one is uses a few more colors. Let's make this one candle a little tall. Look, it just makes squiggly lines.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Oh, there you go. You need your candles. We'll get the little flame going. Here. I like twist in the bag. One of our decorators showed me this. And then you're just going to kind of pull up. See, I'm going to make a little dot of yellow, and then I'm going to pull up to make my flame. See how that's doing? That's actually turning out.
It looks really nice.
All right. Because I don't pride myself as a decorator. I can bake a cake in a New York second, and I can bake a cheesecake and a pie. But I can follow a recipe. You can bake if you can follow a recipe, because baking is a chemical process.
Exactly.
And so you put the ingredients together in the proper proportions, and it's going to come out for
But
you.
I think it also takes some intuition as well, because you have to really have a feel for what does a done cake smell like and what does
Right.
it look like. But that
Exactly.
takes experience as well.
And you've got tips in your
Exactly.
book.
That's right.
In
There
the
are
book.
lots of tips. There's
And
a
you're-
whole big how-to section
And
as
you're
well.
right. When I go in the kitchen sometimes, and I can actually smell a cake. When
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
When I open the door,
There's
open
that
the oven
done
door,
smell.
it's a done smell. But don't you think that comes with experience?
Absolutely.
So keep baking. Try
Exactly.
it too. If you fail on a recipe once or twice, try it again.
And you know what is another thing that I noticed common among all of the ladies that I interviewed was they all said that as children they were allowed to experiment in the kitchen.
Right.
Almost everybody said that. And so I find that people that become accomplished cooks and bakers are ones who have been allowed to experiment as children, even if it made a big mess.
Right.
So let your kids make messes in your kitchen.
That's exactly right. It's a wholesome form of entertainment for family entertainment. It's certainly
Exactly.
free, and there's a possibility after they fix it that you might even be able to eat it.
Exactly.
You might be
It
able
could be
to
like
eat it.
a win-win-win.
Exactly. So, and I've noticed that watching the cooking channels on television, they're harmless. the kids can watch those. And actually, I think that cooking has become almost a family sport. Because you can get in the kitchen, you can have lots of fun and spend time together. So how are we doing? You know,
I'm
you're
making
doing
some
great
holly over here.
on that candle there. I'm gonna, let's see, what am I missing?
You need your, no, you're ready for, you need brown.
I need brown, okay. Here we go. This is fun.
And I need berries. This is fun.
I know, I never get to get in the kitchen and really play. It seems like we've always got a cake that's going out the door that somebody's waiting on. Tell me, the first time somebody asked you and told you they would pay you for one of your cakes.
Oh, that
what did that feel like?
Well, that was actually when, you know, Jasper was about 3 months old, and they said, "Oh, you bake cakes, right?" And I said, "Well, yes." She said, "Oh, make one for the wedding." But you know, at that time, I sometimes am a believer in fake it till you make it. So I said, "Sure, I'll do it," and you know, figured it out. And you know, back then, I didn't even know how to tier up the wedding cakes.
Right.
I didn't know how to do the supports.
That's very important.
Yeah, and it didn't fall. I've never had a true, you know, disaster. Knock on wood.
Well, here,
but
something.
But yeah, that was a long time ago, and I did it, and actually they were really happy. And I ran into that lady this past summer delivering a wedding cake. She was a bridesmaid in another wedding, and she said, "Oh, I just still think about my wedding cake, and I loved it so much." So that was a lucky experience that kind of helped boost my confidence early on.
Now you got to cook with your grandmother, right?
I did,
with
but
your
both my grandmothers.
Both
really.
of your grandmothers.
My grandmother here in Monroe, Georgia, she used to make this wonderful rum bundt cake, cake with pecans in the you know in the bottom, and then you flip
I think
it over.
that's in Cooking in the South.
Oh, I
It's
think
my rum cake,
well,
my
then,
rum pound.
You know, we're gonna do that recipe for Christmas, so I will use yours. And actually, Johnny's lemon cheese is the recipe I use in my shop, and also your yellow cake.
Oh,
yes,
do you? Oh,
yes.
good.
I use both of those in my shop. And so maybe I'll borrow your rum cake recipe too for Christmas.
I'd love for you to. It's really a hit here.
Yeah.
We sell it by the slice. Now I don't know if you do that in your bakery.
We do. We haven't done that so much yet with the bundt cakes. We definitely sell the layer cakes by the slice, but as we're getting busier, people I think are getting more accustomed to the idea of a bundt cake.
Well, a pound cakes, y'all make wonderful gifts, and you can buy little pound cake tins. You can buy the big ones, and we use a long tin here and put our pound cake batter, and then we
slice it up.
Then we put the icing like caramel or cooked. You've got a really good. You've got a caramel. You've got my caramel.
I have your
icing
caramel
in here in
yes.
Cake Ladies, and we just put that caramel on there or cooked fudge.
Yes.
And then we slice it. We wrap it in Saran wrap, and people come in and they just buy one piece of cake.
Yeah.
You know, they can eat that guiltlessly.
Right.
And have a great time with
like
one
a
piece of
cupcake.
cake. Exactly. Exactly. Well, I've finished. That's all I'm going to do to my little.
It looks beautiful.
Well,
you want little red for you want little berries?
I do. You got to put, if you do these leaves, folks, you got to do the little berries. You've got to do. Oh, did I bop you with the icing there?
Not just a little bit.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for helping me practice decorate these cupcakes.
Well, thank you, Johnny.
And I know you all have enjoyed having Jody here. Look for her book. It's called Cake Ladies: Celebrating a Southern Tradition. And y'all, baking and cooking. It is like celebrating.
Absolutely.
Because everybody's so happy when you cook for them.
Exactly.
So it was good to have you here.
Well,
I'm
thank
gonna give
you
you a
so
big
much.
hug. Thank you. I love you. Love you. Jody's going to run off to her book signing because there are people waiting, I know. Y'all, it's been fun to be here with you today. I hope you'll stop by Gabriel's sometimes. If you're in the Asheville area, certainly go by Short Street Cakes. If you need a great Christmas gift, find the Cake Ladies or Cooking in the South, my cookbook.
Or your second
or
helpings.
Second helpings, my other cookbook. So come back. We'll do some more fun things another time, and maybe Jody will come back and visit us.